Switching from oral buprenorphine to the monthly injection is relatively simple and straightforward. There's no transitional lag and no need for additional medication. So why do so many people think there is? Let's separate the medicine from the myth. Our first claim: I need extra Suboxone for the first few weeks because the shot takes time to build up. If you're already established on buprenorphine, you're not starting from zero. You're simply changing how the medication is delivered. Now, I've been transitioning patients onto Sublocade since 2018, and I started using Brixadi as soon as it became available in the United States. What you should know is that Brixadi reaches its maximum plasma concentration in about 6 to 8 hours, while Sublocade reaches its maximum plasma concentration in approximately 24 hours. So if you took your last oral dose before coming, then there should be no transitional lag where you suddenly don't have enough buprenorphine and need supplementation. And if there's any doubt, test, and you'll see that the buprenorphine is still there. Our second claim: the injection has less buprenorphine than I was getting from my Suboxone. You can't compare oral and injectable buprenorphine milligram for milligram. That's apples and oranges. What you need to know is that the subcutaneous buprenorphine has a greater bioavailability than the sublingual buprenorphine. Brixadi, for example, has about a 6 to 8 times greater bioavailability than Suboxone. That means much more of what you're injecting actually becomes available in the body. And that's exactly what I see when I test my patients. The buprenorphine levels on the injection are generally higher than they were when patients were taking it orally. Claim number 3: I need 2 300 milligram Sublocade shots. A 100 isn't enough to start or restart me. That hasn't been my experience. Now, newer research comparing 100 and 300 milligrams supports what I've been seeing clinically for years. There's no significant overall clinical advantage to the 300 over the 100. More isn't necessarily better. Claim 4: if I don't feel right after the injection, I need to supplement Suboxone. The active medication in both is still buprenorphine. So if you don't feel the same after switching to the injection, we need to ask why. We've addressed the biological component with the buprenorphine. What may take longer to adjust is the behavioral component. The patterns, routines, what to do with your hands, how to structure your day without taking medication once, twice, or several times a day. And no amount of additional buprenorphine is going to make that adjustment for you. In my experience, it takes time and sometimes counseling. Now, I've been using these injections since 2018, and I never needed to do supplemental buprenorphine. Because I test my patients, I can see that their levels are not just adequate, they're generally higher than they were when they were taking the oral. So before we add more medication, we should first identify whether more is actually needed. Simply throwing more medication at the problem has never been a good idea. In my experience, patients who have been offered supplemental buprenorphine tend to have longer, more difficult transition onto monthly injections and are more likely to fail the transition successfully. Sometimes adding more medication and reinforcing old behavioral patterns moves you further away from the goal you're trying to accomplish.